Okay, everyone, here we go again with the JROCK Onsen. I almost forgot the name. I'm not gonna lie to you. It feels like it's been forever since I fucked up last week. Let's just start with what we got going on. As you guys know, I have our little agenda prepared, and you've been staring at the first topic and wondering what the hell's going on. We're doing things a little differently, and we're starting with cute boys this month.
Wait, what the hell is going on? Where am I?
Such a genuine reaction. Okay, so I wrote this topic, and the reason is it's kind of in line with something we discussed before because of something that I ended up doing. Over the weekend a couple weeks ago, I went to a movie theater to watch a live screening, actually a delayed screening, of a live performance of a band called Rosalia.
What? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the thing with that. I went to this. It was kind of obscenely expensive for what the event was. And by obscenely expensive, I mean like a regular movie ticket here is usually like $9. And a ticket for that was $30. So that was like, whoa. And it's not like I got anything special out of it, but I was happy to go. And it reminded me of in the past when we were talking about streaming shows and how there's definitely a market for it. And the fact that I dropped 30 on this really makes me feel like there is a market for it. It still hasn't happened, and it's clear that it can happen pretty
so you
easily.
Didn't get any kind of bonus thing?
No,
like,
man.
For example,
I got a small cardboard paper. It's that's it.
You know when you go to Pokemon, you get at least like a card sometimes.
Not even a card. It's like an oversized postcard type thing. It's not even because they do have Weiss Schwartz deck from Bushi Road because it is Bushi Road. But no, not even a card. I got one at AX for the booth that they had there, but not at this.
Rosalia.
Rosalia. Okay, so Rosalia is a game within a band within the game. So Bang Dream, I talk about it all the time in my posts because it's all I ever do anymore in my free time. It's a rhythm game on iOS and Android.
Yep.
It's a rhythm game. There's 5 bands within this game. And the cool thing about it is 2 of those 5 bands actually perform live every now and then. And their music exists outside of the game as well. And they do a lot of cover songs.
With Rosalia, is somehow they got in the biggest attention, I guess, from all of the bands.
Well, yeah, because they got that, kind of VK style going on with them. They're very dark and, not dark, but, edgy.
I think they stand out among the kawaii kind of style of the other bands.
Yeah, because if you look at the 5 of them, there's 2 that are hella kawaii, and then there's one that's
Hella kawaii.
There's one that's an idol group essentially, and then there's one that's the edgelords, and then there's Rosalia. And honestly, Rosalia really fits into the more generalized view of Visual-kei. I mean, they wear these.
They're more gothic though.
Yeah. These gothic Victorian type dresses and stuff. Everything is dark colored, and they're just deeper than everyone else.
Well, to me, it's more their music, even though it's a game and now it's an anime too. Their music is really, really good.
Yeah, so I like it. I mean, that's why I went and saw them.
That stands out to me.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to see them or Poppin' Party, one of the other bands that actually performs, and I opted to see them mainly because it fit into my schedule better. Also because I prefer their music, even though I didn't really prefer the characters within the Bang Dream universe as much. Now I like them more because there was a lot that went on during this, so that's another thing. So like I said, I said cute boys because it feels like the only thing missing is that you have to be freaking kawaii enough to join, to get people to actually show up to this kind of thing.
Yeah, to the listeners out there, before we started this show, we were told that we were going to talk about cute boys.
Yeah, I'm getting there. That's what we're missing.
Okay.
That's all we're missing. No, that's where I am. That's what I'm leading to is the fact that it seems like the only thing really missing for this kind of market to take off is the boys being cuter.
Okay, so you want...
Are they all consistent of girls?
Yeah, all bands are all girls.
Cool.
But... that's another thing. So that'll really kind of show you how successful it can be if you're just trying to succeed off of being kawaii. They did recently announce a boy band.
What?
Yeah.
Have you heard the music? Is it just recently? Is it really new? Really fresh?
It's pretty new. They did do a live performance because coincidentally all the voice actors for the characters do know how to play their instruments, so they did a live performance. I was not in Japan at the time or ever, so unfortunately I didn't get to see it.
Could you elaborate on the streaming part? Because I mean, it's in a theater, right?
Yeah, so it's in a theater. So that's the thing. It's even a step down from a stream, which is, I mean, I'm just making an argument here that why isn't this happening more often? Because there's definitely a market for it. So, like I said before, yeah, there's definitely a market for streaming. I think we've talked about it here even. I don't see why it hasn't become more of a trend to record your performances and put them up in a way to get fans together to create a community. It seems like everybody wants to segregate in a way where if I want to watch a Diron Gray performance, I either have to go to their show, which isn't here this year, or I have to buy an obscenely expensive DVD. Makes sense why it's so expensive, but I have to buy that DVD and then I watch it alone, like in a dark room with no one to talk about it with.
Like of their tour final and not of their like any tours in between. So you're getting just like the best. You're not getting middle. You might miss a song that you was not on the set list in the final one. So
yeah, that's definitely true too. And then a lot of times, like going to these performances and seeing some of the stuff that happens that may not be considered the best can be the best. Like they do edits where they only include what they think is important. You don't get to see the whole damn thing. Like I went and saw The Pillows a while back and the lead singer fell. He jumped in the air and he fell.
What?
That's probably not going to be on any DVD.
No, but they do that with like a Gazette because Reita has fallen a few times when he do this like spin while he's playing bass. So
maybe he shouldn't do that.
It's just I think maybe it's just the like management or like
yeah, that's the thing. It's very controlled. It's what you want to get out there at what time.
You know, X Japan's Yoshiki, he went around like doing a kind of like a tour about of his documentary. I feel like that kind of lines up with this thing that you're talking about because he's showing off like his accomplishment and like his life basically and is there in person to talk about it with the live audience.
All I'm saying is I wish there was a push for more of this stuff. There's definitely a market for it. I'm not saying the theater was freaking packed or anything. There were a fair amount of people there, but you also have to consider what exactly they were there for. They were there for technically a fictional band that exists within a video game that played a gig a couple months ago. It got recorded and now they're going to a theater that could possibly be pretty far away from them because I think only 2 theaters in California even had it.
Wait, I have one question first. What kind of people were there?
What kind of people? Okay, so there were a few cosplayer-looking girls with basically they were dressed up very similar to Roselia. Yeah. There was this really creepy dude way at the front. And there were some regular-looking people and people who looked like me, like, you know, like they should be at a heavier show. Okay. But the majority of people had those freaking pen lights. It was hilarious.
Okay, yeah.
Those like glow stick type things, and they knew all the moves. Damn it, they knew everything.
You know, me and Sis, we're gonna see Hatsune Miku
with your pen lights.
Yeah, so we're gonna go there. Damn it.
I think that's also one of the really more fun parts about that kind of performance is those pen lights and like watching what people do with them. I think is really entertaining.
Yeah, and you can change the color as well. So people usually change the color to whatever fits the mood of the song. But Sis, like I don't know how much you're into this kind of like you know the Hatsune Miku or otaku stuff. Like how do you perceive this?
I feel like I'm not really into it at all. The only kind of is through like Love Live and Idol Master really. My perception of it is I never really thought of it. It's cool.
So you think it's a positive thing at least?
Yeah, definitely. Like I'm glad that something like this exists even though it's like shown in limited quantities, but I think that's probably the best way to also even gauge interest somehow. I don't know how it could be brought to like a bigger audience or whatnot, but I'm perfectly fine with it, I guess.
Yeah, see, like Sis said, I don't know how to bring it to a bigger audience. There's definitely ways to do that. I mean, you have YouTube streaming, you have Twitch streaming. Over there, they got Nico.
Yeah.
So there are ways for this to get out there, but it seems like there's just not enough discussion about it. We
It's
mentioned
not only
it.
that. You have there's like this otaku stigma behind it as well.
Well, that's specifically for Bang Dream and everything.
Well, I don't. I mean, like,
If
Hatsune
Gazette
Miku.
threw up a stream of them performing at Budokan, don't you think people would, like pay-per-view to get into that, like a boxing match?
You mean like Logan Paul and KSI?
I said a boxing match, not two YouTubers beating the hell out of each other.
Okay, I'm gonna drop that.
On that note, actually, I remember, I can't remember how many years ago, I think Danger Crew Records had a live streaming of their Jack in the Box like concert, which was basically all the bands on Danger Crew and whatnot.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That was, and I think they've done it maybe twice, or I can't remember exactly. That was through Nico, and I know before I've literally watched an Uberworld performance on Nico, just just waking up at a time or getting a ticket, and bands do it. I think it is more record label related than more than anything.
Uber is under Sony, right? And they're pretty strict.
I believe strict as Kiun. Jesus.
Wait, Kyun? I don't know what that is.
Kiun is a record label. They got L'Arc-en-Ciel. That's why you don't see L'Arc-en-Ciel videos anywhere except for the Kiun channel.
Oh shit! Okay.
I think a good example is Viva-Rush at the moment. They just continuously do live streams, and I think that's, you're not really interested in the band, it gives you an opportunity to also given a view of what the live house looks like and what the audience is.
So I talked to actually the CEO of Viva-Rush label, and that guy, he embraces like the international market, and he really wants Viva-Rush to play out like live outside Japan. So
well, I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? Because think about the population of Japan, and then think about the population of Japan that's into JROCK. Then think about the population of and how many of them could be into JROCK. So it's a huge market out there, and that's really what I'm trying to get to, is that
but it's not
we should all be pushing for this. Yeah, exactly. It's not condensed. That's why
so that's
putting it online makes it more accessible.
I think the indie labels have more of a chance of doing this kind of stuff than the bigger labels. The bigger labels are, I don't know how big labels work, but I'm assuming that they don't want their content everywhere, and they don't want to stream everything because it costs money and whatnot, and blah 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 blah, all these complications and whatnot. But they should be the ones to push this, Recently, maybe a few weeks ago, I was watching one of the festivals in Japan, and it was on YouTube, day 1 and day 2, and I was considering that's really good. That's a really...
Wait, what bands were there?
Man, I can't remember on the top of my head at all.
You don't remember the performances?
But it wasn't... I know Rock in Japan Fest, maybe?
Yeah, okay, it might be that.
But
yeah, that was on YouTube. I remember that.
That's for free, and that's brilliant. I know, that's it. It was like foreign bands and Japanese bands, but I think they mainly focused upon the more English sounding bands like Pharrell. But that kind of thing is amazing. And I remember a few years ago, YouTube Japan done not an initiative, but they had something called Music Week, and I believe they streamed Boom, like one DVD, like live DVD of a Boom Boom Satellites performance. I know there was one of Nightmare, and they were going out all throughout the week. I haven't seen that again, but I think that's also a brilliant idea, even if it is just the week, and if it's constant, then I don't see why. If you have the ability to do it, I don't see why not. It cannot happen more often.
Yeah, that's exactly it. If the ability to do it exists, why can't it happen? And again, one of the things I feel that isn't really clear right now is, I'm not saying a performance specifically for a live stream. I'm saying a performance at a venue that can be recorded and streamed later, or recorded and streamed at the same time, but in front of a real audience. The only risk they're taking is that not that many people show up to the stream. But when you have a venue and you have people at the venue, you already have those people. Like that's good and done.
I'm thinking that it might be that they're not really making that much money out of it, like right now, and there isn't an established market yet for these kind of things, and it's not like widely. That's more than likely very true. I mean, it's gonna take the guys with the biggest sticks to get out there and really push into it and get everyone to figure their shit out. But
I mean, it's odd, especially seeing that we've got Twitch now, and that's really popular. And obviously,
but with music, is that really popular with music?
There is a whole music category on Twitch.
Yeah, but does that mean that it's like popular? I don't know. I haven't used that Twitch that much.
Yeah, I don't know about popular, but is it viable? Should be the real question.
Like lots of people do it. It's accessible with anybody who has an internet connection or a computer. I think it's just push, like if Twitch wasn't around, opinion that pushes for this, but nobody's taken the initiative, and now Twitch is around, it's opened up possibilities, and amongst other things there could be other streaming services that come up from the ground, and until then I don't know how, or I don't know when it will happen. So
how cool would it be, like if there's like a YouTube but with only live streams of concerts, and like every video that you click is a live concert?
I would literally pay you like money to have my favorite lives. If it was like Nightmare, if there was a Gazette live on YouTube, if there was, I don't know, any kind of live of any of my favorite bands, I would pay money to just watch them, because they're all in one place, and I don't have to go buy the well, it's fine, I don't mind buying the DVD, that's fine, but
would you?
If it's a Blu-ray, I definitely would, because I imagine they wouldn't have the best quality content on YouTube unless you paid even more for that. It's also a good way of exploring new bands as well, or bands you've heard of but haven't really gone into. So I think it's an idea to consider.
That's where I was really headed with this. Is it's an idea to consider. I mean, we have our voices for it, but so does everyone else. I mean, I encourage a discussion. I don't know where the discussion is going to take place, but if anybody ever has the opportunity to get the word out there about something like this being possible, just start telling people that it's possible. And you never know, maybe just, mutterings between a bunch of Western fans turn into mutterings between a bunch of Korean fans, and that somehow gets to Japan. Who knows?
So there's one thing I want to add to this as well, is that Mazo, you mentioned that it's okay even if it's a pre-recorded performance.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of venues that don't have like great internet access, like it's like really like laggy and stuff.
Exactly. That wouldn't be too surprising if you're, in one of the Shibuya underground venues and the internet is garbage.
So if you just film it like without having to stream it live, I think that would still be appreciated by the fans.
Yeah, I mean, just as like a final note, you can even look at every time I've gone to a show. I'll specifically say Deer on Grey. Every time I've gone to one of their shows, there's always a bunch of people with their phones out recording the performances, and they'll put that up on, their Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the one with the naked pictures, whatever. But it'll also end up on YouTube a lot of the times, and then people will go and they'll watch that and they'll be like, oh, okay, that's what that song's gonna be like live. That's awesome. So people do want to see these things. There's no arguing that, and they're really missing out by not having an official presence.
I'm raising my hands.
You know what? Yeah. Now you mentioned that. I mean, as annoying as it is, somebody having their phone out.
It's super annoying. I wish it would stop. I got half a show blocked because it was assigned seating by some guy who got out of his seat and stood in an aisle and recorded half the show. And it's like, dude, it looks and sounds like shit. Get out of here. Leave it to the professionals.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, on that note, since we've dwelled on the cute boys so much, which, again, cute boys are what's going to sell J-Rock in the future, because cute girls sell J-Pop. Let's talk about some actual news in the J-Rock world. To begin, does NBT have anything?
Okay, so I've been diving into Crystal Lake's music again, and it's because they're gonna release a new album called Helix. and that's the first album in 2 years. I'm really excited for that, especially since their most recent single, The Circle, was really diverse in their sound, and it still has this heavy sound. So looking forward to that.
I fully understand that.
So let me throw in one more quick news, actually. So we also got a announcement from the Musmus. I don't know how to pronounce that.
I thought it was Museums.
It depends. Like, you have to read the katakana. So they have announced their single, The Devil. So it has a real like devilish sound to it. So it's like kind of like cult sounding, and it's really cool because we haven't heard anything like that from them before. So I'm looking forward to this one as well. So that one is coming out in October.
That does sound good. I love me some Satan. Speaking of the devil, Deviloof actually this month lost 2 of their members. I think it was Seiya and Hiroto. I'd have to double check.
The guitarist
Seiya is the guitarist.
And the drummer.
And Hiroto, I think, is the drummer. Because in the past, they lost a different guitarist, and he was replaced with Rei. So they still got Rei, they still got Keisuke, and I'm pretty sure they still got Daiki, the bassist.
Yeah.
So Hiroto, I'm pretty sure, was the drummer. So I think they lost Hiroto and Seiya. They put out that announcement through Twitter, and interestingly enough, in the announcement, they said, we're still going to continue our performances with support members. Don't count us out just yet, which is nice to hear. Don't count us out just yet. I'm just kind of upset that Seiya would leave, because he's a really good guitarist, and he was, interestingly enough, doing a lot of pushing on the social media and YouTube, which was nice. But yeah, it really sucks that he's gone, and I kind of wonder if, like, Hiroto left with him, like, oh, yeah, we're going to do our own thing. So we'll see what comes out of that, because they did also have their own little notes saying, yeah, we'll be back on the music scene eventually. Don't count us out either, even though we're ruining a great band by leaving it.
Is it I don't know if it's their first band, but if it's their first band, I'm not being rude or anything, but it's always the beginning. It's always really rocky, and then they always go into new band and they create something really cool. So yeah,
that's a good point. But Deviloof is so clean right now. I mean, for that to be the first, band out there for them, I mean, I find it hard to leave. I don't know how successful they feel they are from their point of view, but I think what they're doing, the music they're putting out, is in a league of its own. It's up there. It's got amazing quality. It's just so good. Not everything sounds like that. Let's put it that way.
So Survive Said the Prophet released recent album Spaces recently. By the time it comes out, it'll be already out because it got released on September 26th. And it is, I've listened to it. I've had the opportunity to listen to it, and it's really cool. I would definitely say check it out. Yeah, I think that's it. Another thing to mention is that they did the opening for a recent anime called Banana Fish. But yeah, you should definitely check them out. They're damn good.
What kind of music is this band?
It's kind of like, I don't know how to call it, but it's like a bit like progressive rock-ish.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Prog rock. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I see their name around. I just haven't bothered to press the play button. That's the thing, though, right? You see some things and you're like, oh, that looks interesting, but I'll just listen to The Insulated World. Which, by the way, is out now.
Yeah.
Damn.
But, Miles, I will show you a few songs by Survive Said the Prophet after.
Right, we'll see if I listen to them.
I will force you. I will force you.
You can't force me to do anything, Swede. Okay, so let's start getting into our closing here. So this month for our social media, we put out a question to you, the listeners, readers, and didn't get a lot of responses. But it was one of the more interesting ones in my opinion, and since I run this bitch, the podcast, I felt like it'd be a cool one to cover. So the topic is, what's your favorite Japanese instant food or snack? And I don't know who posted this one, but they said we like seafood cup noodles.
I think that was Edo.
Okay, Edo speaking for the team, but that's okay. Yes, Edo is the lead. So
Not my
That's
pick.
not my pick either. So I felt like I needed to, CTR clear the record. It's really hard to pick, but for instant food, since that's what Edo picked, I would say the curry cup noodles. They're delicious. They're super good, and they're really complete with like I don't know if you guys watch Hot Ones on YouTube by First We Feast.
With Joji.
With Joji, yeah. Okay, so one of the hot sauces they have is called the Bomb. So I have that one. One drop of the Bomb takes a cup of noodles to like the next level, especially the curry ones, because the Bomb doesn't have its own flavor. It's just raw heat, and it really adds that little kick to your curry that you need.
I had wasabi like yesterday, and I fucked up my nose. So I was like, "Oh, wasabi's not like that bad." And then no, my nose started.
No, I don't like
wasabi. Wasabi clears your sinuses. I've been sick before and gone out to get sushi just to get wasabi. And it's awesome how it'll just open up your sinuses and you're like, oh, that's not anymore.
You guys know about this like UFO ramen? It's like fried ramen.
I thought that was like Indonesian or something.
They have those in some 11, so I tried those, and I think those were better like than those with like soup noodles. I kind of like those more.
Are they in the little bag or in the cup?
They're in a cup, but like you still have to add water to them, but it's not like this soup kind of ramen. It's more like this.
So it's
saucy
more like
ramen.
Yeah, okay. So like a yakisoba or something.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But
that's not bad.
Yeah, but I prefer those over the soupy ones. I have those. Have you tried the Korean noodles, like the spicy ones?
Yeah, I've had one of them. But the thing to know about me is I actually do not like spicy food at all. There's very few things that I feel need to be a little bit spicy in order to be complete. But for the most part, I do not like spicy food.
But that shit is like, I even like I had to rinse my noodles with water to try to get the taste out, but even after that, it was still too spicy.
I was gonna say everything in 7-Eleven, but
everything.
But no, there's like I think I tried like a good few. I remember I tried chocolate, like small donuts, mini donuts, like Cocoa Pops, kind of, and like other stuff. But I think my favorite is Umaibo, and that's like a corn snack.
Which Umaibo?
I didn't have a lot of them. I think the spicy one, but it's
not that's interesting. I don't know why people go so crazy for the Umaibo. I think they're very okay. Like I don't dislike them. I don't love them. They're okay to me.
But wait, we were talking. But the question was, what kind of noodles do we like? So
no, that's not the question. It said instant food or snack. I just went with noodles because Edo tried to tell people I like seafood noodles, which I gotta try them before I can, throw some more dirt Edo's way.
Okay, I missed that part. It's like eating spices.
Yeah, really, you're just eating seasoning off of a Umaibo, which I think doesn't that technically translate to tasty stick?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we'll find out.
I'm up for some tasty stick.
Hell yeah, man.
What kind of stick do you want?
The umai kind.
And welcome to JROCK News Food Edition.
Yeah. And we got Guy Fieri coming on to take us all to Flavor Town.
Now we're gonna unbox our new food loot crate.
Legit food reviews. All right, let's stop.
Whatever.
Let's stop messing with the poor listeners who are like, this is going on forever. I want to eat all these things. Like, let us know what your favorite thing is, even though you missed out on the opportunity when we asked you earlier. But let us know now. And that's pretty much everything for this little podcast. Do you guys have anything else you feel needs to be said?
Yeah.
Great, go for it.
Great. Yeah, we're gonna check out Deer and Grey this month. So it's gonna be quite cool. We're gonna see them live. So yeah.
All right, so these two guys are lucky enough to be going to see Deer on Grey this month. So I'm super jealous. Hopefully they show up in the U.S. and I can go see them. But with that, that's pretty much everything to say for this podcast. We'll be looking forward to talking to everyone, talking at everyone, because it's not like it's an interaction. It's more like a talking at everyone next month. Hopefully we'll get Nexus back. We didn't mention Nexus at all. Like this whole time, it's like
To be honest, we never mentioned our name at the beginning. To be honest,
yeah, so Nexus doesn't even fucking matter. But yeah, I mean, thanks everyone for joining us. I've been Mazo. We got Sis. I see the little speech bubble light up, but he didn't say anything. I was hoping to be like, hey.
I did say it.
Okay. There's a bit of delay when your noise gate opens up, I think. And we got NBT. There we go. All right, we got some noise. And remember, everyone, cute boys and cute girls sell music.
Oh yeah, take it.